The Longbox Crusade presents
Action Film Face-Off.
This episode is 1984 versus 2003.
Two films enter.
One film leaves.
Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves. Two men enter, one man leaves.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits.
Welcome back to Action Film Face-Off, the show where two random years are selected. My brother brings an action film from one of the random years. I bring an action film from the other random year. Those two films do action battle using a variety of action criteria, and an action champion will be crowned by the end of this action episode. I'm Jared Albrecht, the Action Death Probe. My co-host is my brother Jason, the Action Weasel Skull. I'll let the bit die now. We're both military combat vets who take our action seriously, but not too seriously. So let's have some fun. Jason, this is a straight up regular episode for me. I've seen them both. These are both rewatches for me. What do you got?
Flip that coin because I'm a double blind fire. I didn't see either one of these. So these were first time treats for me.
Treats indeed. At least I think. We'll find out when we get into scoring. I like both these movies.
Well, yes, indeed. We're going to score each of today's films on a scale of 1 to 10 in 5 categories. And those categories are the story, the overall spectacle, best action scene, the hero, and the villain. It's still not in that order. If you want to see it in order, you have to get the direct-to-DVD Director's Cut edition of Longbox Crusade. Order that while supplies last. But we will have the deduction round still at the end, where it always is, where up to 10 points can be subtracted from the film's total for whatever we determine is the low point of the movie. Them's the rules.
Them's are the rules. Thank you, Jason. And on this episode, we are joined by a sniper. It is our quarterly sniper, and the sniper has 1 point to give in each category. So she can sway the scoring by a total of 5 points, which actually mattered on the last episode. It changed the outcome. Let's meet our sniper for this episode. It is, like I said, our quarterly sniper. It is Captivating Kathy Bright, the MVP. Welcome back, Kathleen. MVP.
Hi.
Hello. Kathy, I have to do all these specific questions for you because you come back so often. So your specific question for this episode is name your 3 favorite films that feature a ninja.
Do Ninja Turtles count? I need to know this before we get into
100% yes.
100%. I hope so, because that is my number 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good call.
These are going to be some weird choices because I've realized that I've seen movies with ninjas, but I haven't seen a lot of ninja movies.
You're not about to do something like they had a ninja food processor in Love Actually or something, are you?
I'll boot her off the show.
That would be kind of funny. No. My number 1 is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There's only, I think, 1, maybe 2 ninjas, but...
Yeah, he chases her for like an hour. She's ninja. Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is going to be a little controversial. I did watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies when I was a kid, but I was also, a girl. So I know I should say American Ninja. But I'm going to go with Jim Cotta because I saw that movie way more times as a girl.
We ain't going to fight you on that.
Allow it.
We ain't going to fight you on that.
Good choices, Kathy. Usually you disappoint me, but on this one, you
Thanks.
Pretty good. No, those are good. Those are excellent choices. Now, before our 2 films enter the videodome arena, which I think Jason put down those little ninja caltrops all over the place, we're thrilled to kick off this episode with special shout-outs to our Crusaders Club members. These are the fine folks who have joined our crusade to get early access to special Longbox episodes and so much more. These are the folks reaping the benefits and giving much appreciated support to our show.
Alan W. Wright.
And Helica Wolf.
Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Billy D.
Bradley Dello.
Braxton Underwood.
Carrie.
Clinton Robinson.
Captain Entropy.
Lark Westfield.
Comic foil.
My foil, Dave Collins.
Eric Hodges.
Eric Porter.
Ezra Gallo.
Gary V. And going back, just so he doesn't think we forgot, Battle Wagon.
Battle wagon.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Gene Hendricks.
George Meal.
Gerald Green.
Heinz K.
Django Unfettered.
Jason Keene.
Jason Lady.
Jeff Poyer.
Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too.
See, there was some Harry Belafonte in there. That was pretty good. Jim Meal.
Joe Man Conan.
Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
Captivating Kathy Bright, the MVP.
Whoop whoop. Matt and Lizzie Passo.
Mark Ross.
Michael Minton.
Miranda W.
P.D. Devons.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Ronald Easterday.
Rob Morgan.
Scott.
Sean Urbanski.
Snake Plissken.
He's still alive.
I heard he was dead.
Spidey 67 or Ronnie the Ghost.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin.
Steve Martin.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop. If we missed anyone on the list, we apologize. Keep in mind, we record these episodes well in advance of release. So if you're a recent edition, we will add you soon. But no worries. You can let us know we missed you by sending in an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com. And Pat Sampson will personally get it all straightened out. If you're asking yourself, how do I become a Crusaders Club member? It's very simple. Go to patreon.com/longboxcrusade. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to the amazing world of the Crusaders Club. Come and check it out. And shout out to Ezra Gallo, who just upped his monthly donation. Thank you, Ezra.
Dang, Ezra. Big baller. I like that. All right. Whether you're free, in jail, or up for parole, it's time to shut up and let's get ready to roll. Get back to the combat. And the gladiators about to battle for our pleasure.
I don't think any one of the inmates in hell was ever paroled. I don't think they have a system for that.
That's true. They paroled themselves for the most part.
But anyways.
They paroled each other.
That's right.
Rolled around on the ground really more than anything. All right. Anyways, this episode I was assigned the year of 1984, which I'm still smiling about. And I selected Ninja 3, The Domination. What year did the randomizer select for you, Jason?
Well, I got 2003, and after some careful consideration, I realized I hadn't seen Van Damme's In Hell, so I put that to our videodome arena.
Well, we have got a fine matchup for this one, folks. It's important to point out this is like Jared versus Jason. We each had to select from our assigned year. I might very well like his selection better than mine, or vice versa. This is about us discussing some beloved action films and coming to a consensus on which one is this episode's champion. All right, quick check-in on where we saw it. Ninja 3, I came to very late in life. I probably didn't see Ninja 3 until maybe a couple of years ago because they have such weird naming conventions. There's Enter the Ninja, then Revenge of the Ninja, and then Ninja 3. So it's not like they go Ninja 1, Ninja 2. It's kind of like Fast and the Furious where they're just really going out of their way to not title them in any logical sense. But yeah, I didn't even know it existed until a couple years ago. Finally watched it, loved it. And then In Hell, straight to DVD, Van Damme that I probably picked up at a DVD store previously viewed years ago. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Jason.
Well, for mine, for In Hell, I found it. I just rented it off of Apple TV. Turned out it was like maybe $1 more to buy it than rent it. So I just bought it. So it's
worth a rewatch, I think.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll throw that in my collection. So it's really affordable. For the Ninja 3, that was a little hard for me to find. I had to download this new app called Galaxy, but it was an interesting little streaming platform. Had some good shows, and it was commercial free too. So it was free and commercial free.
I know for a long time that Tubi had like a ton of canon films, but I wonder if maybe that's over or something like that. You know,
I don't know. I looked. I mean, I did a search on my Roku, and it's like I came up with nothing. You know, I'd kind of widen the search, and then I saw this. It's on Galaxy. You know, it says other ways to watch. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I was like, well, it's free to download, so I'll give it a try. And then I was like, oh, yeah, there it is. And I was like, okay, I'm probably going to have to watch a ton of commercials with this, but no commercials. It was good quality. Yeah. Surprising find. Galaxy.
Galaxy, ladies and gentlemen. Not a sponsor of the show, but we are willing to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kathleen, judging by what I saw in my view history on Plex, I think I know how you saw both of these movies.
You would be correct. As I was watching Inhale, I felt like I had seen it before. Some of it seemed familiar, but I don't remember anything about it if I had seen it before, really.
And Death Warrant.
Oh, probably.
An Innocent Man. Or
Lockup.
That's the one I was trying to remember.
Shawshank Redemption. I went with Death Warrant since it had Van Damme. Anyway.
Escape Plan.
Yes, they were both on Jared's Plex.
That's where I keep everything. So they are out and about, some easier to find than others. We encourage you to find them because we have reached the point in the show where you are getting your spoiler warning. And I've decided a new tradition is, since we do love the Q106.5 for their 80s and 90s music all streaming online, I'm going to start using that advertisement as your spoiler warning. So as soon as the Q106.5 ad is over, spoilers are on the table.
Discover the legendary Q106.5 in your car, on your smart speaker, on your phone. Browse to Q1065.com. 80s, 90s. This is a radio station with a vibe. Download our app or listen online. Search at Q1065 Radio on social media. The Q is your favorite radio station. Discover Q106.5 and hear the 80s and 90s hits on the radio station with personality. Q106.5.
All right, I'm going to jump in with quick info on 1984's Ninja 3, The Domination.
He is the most feared and powerful warrior. A ninja who breaks from ancient tradition and explodes onto America. His soul possesses the body of an innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin.
Who are you? I want to help her.
Only a ninja can destroy a ninja. Her only hope is Yamada, the master ninja, who has been sent to destroy him. Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength and supernatural forces. Ninja 3, The Domination.
Cast and crew is as follows. It starred Lucinda Special K Dickey. She'll always be Special K to me. Sho Kazugi, who I wonder if he has a brother named Tell, and Jordan Bennett. It's directed by Sam Furstenberg. Synopsis goes a little something like this. Christy is a telecommunications line worker and part-time fitness instructor. She's also been possessed by the dying spirit of a mystical ninja assassin seeking revenge on the cops that killed him. And over to Kathy for our trivia.
It took me a second. I was like, who is Tell Kasugi? I figured it out. Show and tell.
Very clever, I assure you.
Stunt coordinator Steve Lambert played 37 different parts in the opening sequence. Were there that many people on that golf course?
I think so.
Okay, well, he played all of them, apparently.
He's like Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor. Like all his parts.
Right. It was all Steve Lambert, ladies and gentlemen. One of the motorcycle cops was played by Robbie Knievel, the son of legendary Evel Knievel, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Nice.
And this was Lucinda Dickey's first canon film, although Break-In was released first because they wanted to beat Beat Street to the theaters.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I like those movies.
Me too. The whole time I was like, why does she look familiar? Of course, straight to IMDb I go. It's like, oh, it's the girl from Breakin'. And
Special K. That's why she'll always be Special K to me.
And I think I did read somewhere, I think she was actually on Solid Gold for a brief moment in time.
You know who's an extra in one of the scenes in the original Breakin' in the background, doing a little dancing himself? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the. I think Breakin' might be the first canon film he appears in where he was an extra.
Oh, that's crazy. Full circle, full circle.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
He was guesting on her show, but she was the star. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, now I will give you good folks the rundown on 2003's In Hell.
A killer took his wife. A corrupt system put him in a cage. Then they made their first mistake.
Give you 20-1 on Andre.
They made him fight. Now they can't stop him.
We will get out of this jail together.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. In Hell.
It starred Jean-Claude Van Damme and Lawrence Taylor, LT, and it was directed by Ringo Lam. Synopsis goes a little something like this. When Kyle LeBlanc took a contracting gig in Russia, I think it's safe to say he didn't think it would go like this. After returning from a hard day's work, Kyle finds his wife murdered with the intruder still in the house. After a chase and a fight, the intruder is arrested, but thanks to a corrupt criminal justice system, is set free. Unable to accept that fate, Kyle takes the law into his own hands and kills his wife's murderer in cold blood. Sentenced to life himself now in a Russian prison, Kyle quickly learns that the only way to survive is to become as cruel and vicious as the other predatory inmates and guards. But the cost becomes too much as he slowly loses connection with the man he was and the man with whom his wife fell in love. This seems like a drama. This is an action film drama.
It's got some drama elements, but there's also some fighty fights.
It does
Very gritty, very gritty drama.
Okay. All right, Kathy, go ahead and take away the trivia.
I'm going to be honest, I could only find 2, but all I've got is this is the third and final film with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I got to say it in the Southern way, and Ringo Lam. The other 2 were Maximum Risk and Replicant. This movie was supposedly, again, I read this on Reddit, so I don't know if this is true trivia or not, but apparently it was filmed in a real operating Bulgarian prison, and some of the prisoners were actually the extras in the movie.
One of which was Special K.
Which would totally be full circle.
Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Test your might.
let's get ready to rumble! It's a street fight.
All right, folks, let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about Match Game. We have 2 movies in 5 categories. I have not seen Jason's scores. He has not seen mine. We could match up to 10 times. I think we had one episode where we did match all 10. Kathy and listeners, go ahead and place your bets on how many times you think we're going to match. It'll be fun for you, I assure you. Kathy, how many times do you think Jason and I are going to match?
I'm going low this time because
Okay.
I feel like Jared's going to really up his game on Ninja 3. So
Any
I'm going to
canon
go.
film is the answer to that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go low, and I'm going to say only 4 matches this time.
Well, we'll see. I got love for it, but I'm not going to get carried away. But we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of scores, listeners, go ahead and set your score barometer around these parts. If we give it a 5, that means its average is okay. Something you'd see on like a pretty good made-for-TV movie. Go, that's all right, you know. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you got some good stuff. And 4, 3, 2, 1, you've got things to work on. Having said that, let's get into round 1.
What do? We die.
Round 1 is the story. How engaging or original is your story? We start with Ninja 3. It's original as hell, if you ask me. But hey, Kathy, you get to go first.
Okay. This is my description of the story for Ninja 3. A promiscuous girl possessed by a demon ninja hooks up on a first date with a persistent bear in a cop uniform before taking revenge for some unknown reason. I mean, seriously, I have no idea. Why was he attacking the golfers on the golf course in the first place?
Listen, canon is the answer to all your questions. Okay. I had that same question, by the way. I was like, who was he after and why? We'll never know.
I mean, he just like went berserk on those guys. I thought the ninja was supposed to be stealthy, like killing like the one, you know.
I have points on that. I have notes about the very extremely unstealthy ninja who just happens to have a green ninja suit for the golf course.
So he has ninja etiquette, Kathy.
Apparently.
He won the Ninja Masters.
He's got the gold ninja jacket, the green ninja jacket. I think it's Jason's turn to talk about this. Are you done? Are you good, Kathy?
I'm good, except nobody wants to make a comment about my bear in a cop uniform.
Oh, I was, guys. I got it. Yes.
Oh, because he was furry. He was a very furry dude. Yeah. I was like, he has a nice sweater he's got on. Oh, wait.
Giving Chuck Norris a run for his money for sure.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what he was doing in that movie is what we would now call stalking. And it was weird.
100%. The worst part is he's literally watching this woman get attacked by these other gym rats.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl he wants to be his girlfriend, he literally sits and watches her fight them off. I'm like, you're a cop.
If only there was a cop around, you know?
Anyway, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, it's canon. You said it, Jared. I think they got Sho Kosugi. He became available. They grabbed some people to throw in a story around him. He had limited availability, so they kind of filled it up. What do we do when we don't have it? We have a floating sword. Don't worry about it. Just roll with it. I mean, it was bonkers. It was absolutely bonkers. I was like, what the did I just watch?
That's how you know it's canon.
It's insane. But, you know, as far as stretching me to get to the action sequences, it worked good enough, I guess. It's canon film. It's 1984. It's not going to be terms of endearment. Just go with it and, you know, and be happy for what you got.
I watched this film with my friend Randy, who's really good about whenever I go over to his place watching a movie that I need to watch for an upcoming podcast. And before we press play, he's like, you know, I've never seen this one. You know, he's a kid of the 80s like us. And he was like, I've never seen this. And I said, you are about to watch the greatest ninja possession by a girl who works in the telecom industry movie you've ever seen. And I stand by it. All right. Kathleen, let's shift gear. Let's go from fun and bonkers.
Hang on. What category do I need to recite the song lyrics to any of these songs? Would that be spectacle? Because I literally wrote down the words to these songs.
I look forward to that. I appreciate the teaser. We will get that in spectacle.
Gotcha.
Let's go back to you though, Kathy, for the not as bonkers, slightly more depressing In Hell.
Very much depressing, very difficult to watch in some moments. But how I described this story was a man who loses everything, including himself, but finds a way to bring himself back from the brink of losing himself completely, thanks to friendships. I mean, we all have friends that are close to us because of work, right? We're at work more time of the day than we are at home, right? So this became his family and his friends, and his tiny group of friends, family, helped protect him and help keep him here in the right state of mind.
Yeah. Again, I've said this before. I'm still waiting on a bad straight to DVD Van Damme film. Like, it had layers, and I appreciate that, but it's Jason's go.
Yeah, Kathy summed it up perfectly. I think everything was taken away from him except himself, and he gave that up at one point in the movie and realized it was too much. And I guess we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the hero category, but the story itself, I was expecting Death Warrant, Jared. I mean, you mentioned it. I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of like Death Warrant. And there were elements to it. There definitely was some action in it. It's definitely an action film, but I was really impressed with the quality of the writing. Now, it doesn't all work, but the actual script was actually pretty good. And I wouldn't have thought like 80s Van Damme would be quite up to playing this role, but the older Van Damme, he's got some maturity now, and it was actually pretty well done. Like the marriage to the script and the actor was surprising, and I wouldn't have bet on it going into the movie, but I was pleasantly surprised coming out.
I think it might have been my friend Black Belt Chris I do Best Under 5 with, who said that he feels like Van Damme has a real talent for picking scripts, especially in his post heyday. And you're right. Here we are again. Good story.
Do we know if this was intended to be direct to VHS or if it was ever considered as a theatrical release?
It might have even had a limited. I use the term direct to DVD or direct to VHS because that's how 99% people saw it, right? But it might have had a theatrical. I don't know. We have a person who does trivia nuggets to look into that. I can tell she's on it right now. She's working away on the side. While she's doing that, Jason, we have scoring business to do. Let's talk about the story from Ninja 3 and why you gave it no less than an 8 because it's bonkers and awesome. Go ahead.
No, I gave it a 6, man. It was all over the place. Like, it was really stretching to get, especially that third act. I couldn't quite figure it out. It's like the only way we can kill this ninja is to get the sword and the ninja to our secret ninja headquarters on the top of this hill in Los Angeles, because, of course. And the bad ninja got the sword, got away, and for some reason went to that place anyway. It's just like, you won, dude. Like, why did you go? Like, at any rate, it made no sense whatsoever.
That's right.
Having said that, it was pretty cool having flying swords and like those effects, smoke bombs, a zombie ninja. So, I can't hate on it. So 6 from me.
All right. I gave it a 10. Going to, no, I'm just kidding.
I believed you. I was like, man,
you could. Remo Williams in this. I really do like Ninja 3. Like, I like it. But I greatly reward bonkersness on the show. I do. And this thing has it in spades, man. I mean, the first 20 minutes is that some golf course ninja cops thing. Helicopter gets involved. Dude buries himself in the dirt. I love it. I know it's dumb, but I love it. I gave it a 7. I wanted to give it an 8, but I was like, all right, I'll give it a 7. All right, In Hell. Interesting. There's a lot of ways to look at this one. So what are you going to do with it, Jason?
Well, for all the reasons I said, I was really thinking, Death Warrant Light. I was thinking I'd probably be giving this about a 6 if it was lucky. The script was solid enough for me to give it a 7. It was well above average.
Match game number 1. I gave it a 7 as well, and it's pretty happy 7. So, Kathy, I believe you're ready to report back to us on the theatrical release of In Hell and also give us your sniper bullet.
I can't really tell. It does list a box office on IMDb, but here's the sad news. It says the budget was estimated at $17 million. Gross worldwide was $293,000.
Wouldn't surprise me, especially if they were looking to make the money on DVD.
Yeah.
Here's what I suspect. This is Jared's supposition, I think is the right word. I think they probably did some sort of a release in like European theaters and probably didn't get an American release. And they probably knew the whole time going into it was going to be a straight to DVD type of deal. That's my best guess. But anyway, let's get your sniper bullet. Thanks for looking that up, Kathy. Let's get your sniper bullet. Which one do you think had a better story? So it's really, do you like the gritty, grounded story, or do you like the fantastical? That's really what you got going on.
Well, I could sit here all day and talk about the plot holes in Ninja 3 that drove me batty.
That is tight as a drum right there.
So did you notice that the helicopter had handles on it? Like there was.
I did notice that, luggage handles on the bottom.
In case you need to pick up a ninja from a palm tree.
And why did they sit and watch him?
Because it's cool to watch the ninja
drill himself into the ground. It's like, shoot him, cut his head off, do something. But anyway, my sniper bullet is not surprisingly going to In Hell.
Bag of bullshit. That's the end of round 1.
It's time to die.
All right, let's go to round 2 where we talk about the hero or heroes. I mean, we had Show, we had Bear Cop, and we had the
Special K.
Yeah, Special K in Ninja 3. What do we think of that trifecta, Kathy?
honestly, I didn't think any of them were heroes.
Kathy, you're no longer welcome back on the show.
How is Sho Kosugi not a hero? I was like,
Well, him, but again, where did he come from? Why is he? I guess he's
Japan.
I mean, I guess technically it did do a flashback with him and the demon ninja. But again, he's in the movie for 5 minutes and he had a weird hilt of a sword attached to his eye.
I thought it was a mini disc that had like a soundtrack on there.
It was actual. I think it was a hilt from a.
Before I start whooping up on you, let me play this. Whooping up on your song.
But I really did. I put my note is there one? She was all over the place. She was possessed by an evil ninja. So she was doing bad things. The cop was super creeper vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a little creepy, gotta say.
I really didn't like him either, especially from the moment where he just watched her fight those dudes. I'm like, you have a job here.
The weird hitting on her in the police station. See, again, with the weirdness. And I love the 80s, don't get me wrong. She says that I don't use sodas. You don't what? Instead of I don't drink diet sodas, she's like, I don't use them. I don't use
You know what she does use? V8.
I assume you'll talk about that in your...
And there is a difference between using it and drinking it in this movie.
Yes, apparently so. Again,
I don't drink V8, but I would have
first date, mind you. She is on the first date.
She went from cold to hot, like,
Yes.
in a New York
fast.
minute. That was really...
Turned out the creepy cop was right the whole time. Man. Cop instincts, I guess.
All right, that's all I got.
Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Jared, what do you have to add?
Not a lot. Like Sho Kosugi is like, he's the hero. He's from Japan, by the way. I don't know if it's clear, but I liked Special K, who I'm never going to remember her real name. I think it's Lucinda something. I liked her.
Dicky. How can
Thank you. Yeah, there we go. How could I forget? I liked her character just because I like those like cursed heroes. And like my favorite Batman villain is Man Bat because he's not a bad dude. He just did something bad happen to him. You know, same with Kirk Connors.
Kirk Langstrom.
Yeah, that's right. You know, and the Lizard with Spider-Man. Like I like those tragic villains, and she's kind of a tragic hero because she's killing these dudes, and you kind of get the best of both worlds because the cops that she's going after, they ain't the nicest dudes on the planet. So she's killing these dudes, which you're not supposed to do, but you're like, they do that movie thing like they do in like all the horror movies where all the teenagers are a bunch of a-holes, so you don't feel bad when they get killed. So they kind of did that here. And
I don't think the cops were a-holes though. Like
that is the confusing part because what they were doing in the beginning while the ninja was going after them, they were doing their job.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then I think in the other scenes, they had to make us dislike the cops.
The hot tub guy was creepy.
I mean, but hot tub, like those two consenting women.
Yeah, right. It's not illegal.
What he's doing on his time off, that's his business.
Right. Yeah, they just make him unlikable. So I liked Special K and the way that she played it. And of course I love Sho Kosugi. I got to bring up my man, James Hong, who, if you need an Asian actor
absolutely
in the 80s.
Speaking of the golden child.
I mean, yes. Right. The second he came on screen, I was like, oh, this pisses me off to no end. It's my favorite line. Me too. My man is in everything, and I love him. I just had to squeeze that in somewhere. But I like this unlikely band of heroes. I'm not big on the Bear Cop, but I like Sho Kosugi, and I thought it was neat storytelling with what was going on with Special K and being possessed by a ninja demon. I mean, that's a sentence I don't get to say a lot.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And I kind of liked her too. I mean, her acting skills were but the character itself was interesting and compelling. So I agree with you there.
I do have a question.
Go for it.
She's on a phone pole. Mm-hmm. Why did she not call for help when she sees the guy collapsing on the ground at the base of the pole?
I guess that's true. She works in telecommunications. She had to be able to get in contact.
If she had one of those little tap-in phones, she could, but maybe she left it in the truck. She was just there to repair the line. But then you got to bring that tap-in phone to make sure you repaired it properly. I worked in comps.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
She was there to listen to her tunes and
deduction round.
reveal her long, luxurious hair, apparently.
Well, I think, though, it's not important to the story because even she made the call. I think the next natural human instinct is to go down and check on the guy. So either way, she's getting demon possessed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just giving her a hard time.
Well, speaking of hard time, let's talk about Jean-Claude Van Damme in
very
Hell.
clever.
Oh, you like that? That's really good.
Good transition.
Good transition. Kathy, what are your thoughts? Jean-Claude, Lawrence Taylor.
I was shockingly impressed with Lawrence Taylor.
Me too.
I think he did a great job. But I will say, I think they played to Jean-Claude's strengths, which is his ability to act without dialogue, because he didn't have a lot of lines in this. And I think that helped the movie. I think it helped him be a better hero because, like Arnold, do we want to see them fight? Do we want to hear them talk?
That's right. Enough talk.
But the only part I didn't like was him with the shaggy hair, but I get why they had to do it. But I think he did a very good job. And I feel like this may be a little more in depth of a role for him because I think kind of like we've already talked about a little, it was more than just him fighting. It was showing more acting chops than we're used to seeing with him. And I think he did a very good job at it.
Yeah, good points. I particularly agree with you on how surprised I was. Lawrence Taylor, just his physical presence it enhanced the film, in my opinion. But my opinion doesn't matter. Jared, what are your thoughts?
Largely echo yours. Yeah, Van Damme and LT do more with the material than they have a right to. I mean, maybe that's not fair for Van Damme because I say that all the time. Maybe the dude is really a good actor. It could be.
Yeah.
Maybe, and maybe he's never been allowed to really show it because everybody's just focused on that we just want to see him fight.
And do the splits. He's got to do the splits at least.
Probably part of the problem is that early success in his early films. I don't think he was a good actor. I think he was a good martial artist. He was a fun guy to watch. That's all you had to be. But I think much like Arnold, I think he became a good actor. And we're seeing that. So, yeah, I liked them both. Hero's a weird word again. Protagonist is probably more because they all have dark sides. I mean, LT set a dude in a wheelchair on fire, but man, I was happy to see it happen. I was like, oh yeah, screw that guy.
I wasn't. The only reason why I didn't like it is because it wasn't part of a best action scene that I could have called Hot Wheels.
Well, we worked it in then, didn't we?
Thanks.
Yeah.
My favorite part that with Jean-Claude is that first hit on the rapist dude. And I don't remember if it was out in the yard, but I literally I got super excited when
I think
that
the first time he hit him, they were up on the walkway.
Was it okay?
Into the fencing that keeps you from falling down to the next thing. That
was awesome.
He just
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Nobody likes that guy. Anyway, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I think all very good points. The only thing that I'll add is I noticed that they wanted to try to make the fight scenes a little more visceral, less of the Jean-Claude spin kicky, do the splits type stuff, which I also kind of appreciated. It was more gritty and realistic.
Yeah, more in character too, because in a lot of movies we see him in, he's a martial arts expert, and this you get a sense he's a guy who knew how to handle himself. Maybe he'd had some classes, but he's learning to fight in prison, really, and and he has an aptitude for it, but none of that. Yeah, balletic, however that's pronounced.
He's a lot less polished or trained,
and it looks good. It looks good. It reminds me of, and I know I'm making the show longer, but one of my favorite actions. I don't think we've ever captured it here, Jason, on the show. Is Unleashed.
No, we haven't done that one yet.
Because Jet Li does that brutal, just oh my gosh, uncorked, and I got that vibe from there.
Yeah. No, that's a good comparison. All right, but it's time for us to put this round to a close and do some scoring. So, Jared, let's go back to Ninja 3. What did you give the hero, 10?
I mean, Sho Kosugi I like a lot. I thought Special K was interesting in this. Yeah, Bear Cop, but I'm going to go to a 7. I think Sho himself just starts me at a 6, and I liked the levels and layers, as bonkers as it was, that Special K brought. So 7.
Match game number 2. I felt the same way. There wasn't a lot of show, but when he was in it, he made the most of the scenes. I mean, there was a lot of charisma, humor. His physicality, his martial arts prowess was just on full display. So you got your money's worth with show. And then with Christy, serviceable. You know, what she lacked in acting, she made up in charisma, I think. And I agree with what you said earlier, that woman out of her element type of dilemma that she was in made for a good hero, in my opinion. Let's roll it over to In Hell. What did you give a Jean-Claude and Lawrence Taylor?
It's hard for me to go high because, like I said, they're not really heroes, although there's some heroic bits to them. Cut to the chase. I'm happy at a 7 here as well.
That's another match game. I felt the same way. It was it's getting close to your 4 right there. I saw your look. But yeah, 7 for me as well. It's definitely different with Jean-Claude Van Damme in these later films, and I'm appreciating it. And I'm going to award him accordingly as well. So, Kathy, that's a tough choice. We got 7s across the board. We both liked Ninja 3. We both liked In Hell. Both the tunes of 7. Whatever you give is going to tip the balance in this category. So where's it going?
I will give her props for her cool 80s aerobic outfits.
Yes.
For her dance moves. And for her ability to dance it out when she's having like a out-of-body experience. But there's no way that LT and Jean-Claude are not getting my sniper bullet.
All right. You heard it here. Decision made. I like that. There was no hemming and hawing. She had made her up her mind and she stuck to it. Back to you, Jared.
All right. Must mean it's time for round 3. Round 3 is the villain. How menacing or entertaining is your villain? Might be gaining some ground here for Ninja 3. I don't know. We'll find out. What Jason talk about Ninja 3. I thought he was a cool villain. What'd you think?
Man, that dude was like all the X-Men in one. He had the healing ability of Wolverine. He had the teleportation ability of Nightcrawler. I suspect he had some techno-organic flesh underneath that ninja suit there to suck up all the bullets. And in the end, he had Professor X's ability to transport his mind into his sword or into the woman or something. This guy, talk about villain. This guy's memorable. And in that opening scene, apparently he did not study the art of Shinanju, where your assassination is like, you were never there. He made his presence known, man. He was like, bring more cops! Bring them!
At least 37 of them.
I mean, jeez, Willikers. He took down a helicopter. He took down bike cops. He stabbed a cop through a top of a cop car into his cop back. I mean, this guy, he was taking them out with swords. He was taking them out with ninja stars. He was taking them out with shurikens. He had the little boom, boom, boom with those little smoke bombs going off. This thing lasted like for 5 minutes. I'm with Kathy. I don't know who he was supposed to kill in that. He got his target. Somebody. He got his target and bonus points. And then, this is what I like about it. Because, I mean, if it was me and I'm that ninja dude, I'm not going to harbor any ill will towards the cops because he started that stuff with the cops. The cops were there to arrest him, and then it turned into they're fighting for their lives at the end. And so he dies, but he's like, nope. Those ones that are left, I'm memorizing your faces. I'm possessing somebody. Somebody's going to find me. I'm going to possess them with my possessed sword, and then I'm going to kill you. This guy was like Ninja Terminator.
I want to know what that poor little golf ball did to him. I mean, that was the initial, taking it out on that golf ball.
Yeah, I know. I kind of remembered Odd Job from Goldfinger. That's
Kathy, while you're on the mic, thoughts on the villain from Ninja 3? And if you want to focus strictly on his ability to apply mascara, you can.
That would be eyeliner.
My bad. I don't know the difference.
I mean, I don't disagree with all that Jason said, but I do want to point out how incompetent also of a ninja he was. Again, not stealthy.
Okay. I know you're going to harp on the not stealthy thing. As a guy who plays video games a lot, sometimes they send you on a stealth mission in video games. There's this phrase that's come up over the last few years that I love in video game culture. If at the end of the mission, everybody's dead, it's a successful stealth mission. Just think about that.
This has nothing really to do with him, but the scene in the helicopter, one who was the passenger was like, the pilot just got hit in the face with a star. Hang on a second. I got
the
him.
one he threw with his foot? That was really cool, too, when he threw it with his foot.
I'm not going to lie. He's determined, to get the job done. I mean, it's pretty impressive that you can create an earthquake, although they were in California, so I don't know that that's that impressive.
That might have just happened.
It might have just happened. I'll give him a little bit of props.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a lot of props. Well, at least a fair amount. Let's shift gears to In Hell. A lot of villainy in this one, Jason. So what do you think?
Kind of a wasted opportunity, I think, a little bit. Like the character Andre was kind of like the main villain, the one that was kind of the big boss. I think that was his name, right? Andre? Am I wrong? They're getting funny.
There's a lot of Russian names.
I think he was the bald-headed guy that was
He's the one that was like the champion before Van Damme took him out. Yeah, he was gross. But I mean, he was on track to be a bad, memorable villain. Kind of kill him at the midpoint of the movie. And then there's not really a strong anchor of a villain to match up against Van Damme. It's really Van Damme versus himself at that point, because he's just taking on all comers. And then it kind of becomes a little bit, that's where it kind of dovetails back into almost like Death Warrant or Bloodsport or one of those type of movies, which as I talk through it is kind of interesting. Like maybe that's kind of what they were going for. Like, oh, you were expecting this. This was kind of like old Van Damme, and now this is the current Van Damme. But yeah, as far as Andre is concerned, they were on track to make him somewhat of an interesting, if only by interesting, mean like just really cruel, like the main villain that you really want to see get his comeuppance like hard at the end of the movie. And it kind of fell flat. So those are my thoughts on the villain.
Okay. Yeah, I felt there was a bit of a Shawshank vibe with, especially once Andre was gone, because then you had pretty much just the warden and his head guard, who I think was the dude from Desperado. I think he was in Desperado, and I think he was in Fools Rush In. I
think you might be right.
I think he was the brother Chewie in Fools Rush In. I think in Desperado he was the right-hand man to, my brain doesn't work anymore, the main bad guy. Whatever the hell his name was. Who the hell was the main bad guy in Elmar? Bucho. I'm looking for a man who calls himself Bucho. Come on, Jared, get it together. Over to Kathy.
The whole time I'm checking IMDb and I'm seeing Gomez, I think is his last name. I can't remember his first name. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's probably it. Because he's in a lot of 1 or 2 episodes and a lot of shows I watched. As soon as you said Fools Rush In, I'm like, that's exactly what I know him most from. Because
my brother Chewie. Chewie, hey, I'm Han Solo. Nice to meet you. Or did he call himself Luke Skywalker? I can't remember.
I think it had to be Han Solo. Oh, I love that movie so much. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts on the villains of this movie. Because, I mean, Jared kind of threw it in there. Kind of how Jason always says, maybe there were too many villains in my book.
We do talk about how if you have multiple villains, it can either add up or it can even out.
Right. And I'm kind of going back and forth because I don't know. Because I thought they were all so good at me hating them that they did a good job as villains.
That's a good
point.
Like
you said, especially the guy that took out his frustrations on the young and innocent prisoner. Well, innocent, you know what I mean. That prisoner was awful. The fact that we had gangs. I do love the Mexican guy with all the tattoos. And then the guard, the prison, the warden. They're all just evil, corrupt people. But then Jason made me think of something when he said something about Jean-Claude. He's really fighting himself. And it just made me think of the fact that I am my own worst enemy. Like I'm worse for myself than a lot of other people are. So, I mean, you may have hit on something there. So maybe his loss of himself was the true villain of this movie.
That's definitely a Jason comment. That's the most Jason comment you've ever dropped on the show.
I was like, man, I'm smart.
Kathy went deep. Went Jason deep there. She's going to think on that while she thinks on her sniper bullet, because we're going to go back and score these. Jason, eyeliner ninja demon sword guy, 1 to 10.
Man, I was laughing. I was rolling my eyes, but I can't say I wasn't entertained. 7 from me.
Kathy now has to hope we get no more match games.
Dang it.
Match game number 4, because I agree. Like, here's the crazy part. Remember how I tell you, like, one of my rules for this is, like, you name the movie. If I can immediately go, oh, the villain was so-and-so. I have no idea what this guy's name is, but, like, he's etched in my brain for life because that first 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, 7. Let's shift gears to In Hell. We got a lot of villainy. How did that work out for you, Jason?
Well, like I said, Andre was interesting. They had an even bigger Andre 2.0, I guess, at the end that he has to fight. And I like the inner conflict with himself, but we didn't really have like one big villain for me. So I'm going to give this one a 6.
Good news, Kathy. I gave it a 7. So we are still sitting at 4 match games. Kathy, where are you going to put your sniper bullet?
I had already decided it was going to go to In Hell.
Incorrect, but I wrote it down anyway. Also want to say it was cool that they built up that other like super giant crazy villain just to pay off the fact that Van Damme had been nice to him, and boy did that pay off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, they had something in common.
That was cool. Anyway, I didn't know where else we were going to squeeze him in, so end of round 3.
Put the knife away and shut your mouth.
All right. Well, that brings us to round 4. We're getting into the fun stuff now. That's the spectacle. We're talking all the cool stuff, the stunts, the choreography, the fight scenes, effects, the music. I know Kathy's got some thoughts on the music. Gotta wait, Kathy, because Jared gets to go first this time. So, Jared, let's get to Kathy as quick as we can here and talk about the spectacle for Ninja 3.
Well, I want to talk about the music. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, when I think about the music, I think it's serviceable, cool 80s ninja canon music that nothing stuck with me, but I liked it. I can't wait to hear what Kathy has to say. For me, when it comes to spectacle, I've mentioned this on a lot of shows. Do I zone out? Do I check my phone? Oh, hell no, I don't zone out and check my phone, because Ninja 3 is constantly throwing you something interesting. From the opening action scene at the golf course, which is incredible. Like, listeners, if you're like, oh, I don't want to watch this stupid 80s cheesy movie, it sounds crazy, fine. Just watch the first 15 minutes. You won't regret it. From there to Special K and being possessed and demon swords floating around, and then Shokazugi doing Shokazugi stuff, and then Shokazugi and the demon dude doing that stuff, and like, you don't get bored. It is a smorgasbord of 80s craziness, and that is why I love it.
All right. Go ahead, Kathy. Let loose.
All right. 80s, and more 80s. I know one of y'all's favorite parts is probably the video game in her.
Yes.
I
had to look that up, by the way, because I consider myself a pretty good video gamer. Yeah. And I had to look that up because I was like, is it a real game, or they make that for the movie? It's a real game.
What was that one called? It was called like,
she had a game called Bouncer.
You're
like a bar bouncer. And I was like, I had never heard of it. And I was like, I think they made that up for the movie. And I Googled it and I was wrong. It's a real thing.
I do wonder why she had a attic vent on her refrigerator, but who knows?
That's exactly what Randy asked me when we were watching his house. I was like, it's just an aesthetic choice. She thought
I think it's to show when the wind and everything was, when the possession was happening.
So that was cool, man.
Biggest thing, the artwork that was in her house or her apartment.
Oh, I saw it. I knew you'd have thoughts.
Nagel. It's not the Rio Nagel, but it is a Nagel print.
Oh, I knew. I was like, that's the guy who drew the cover art for the Rio album.
It is. You are correct. You are correct. All right. So I loved the music because it was 1000% 1984, which I was in junior high, I believe, in 1984. But if you did not listen to the lyrics, I'm about to have a little reading for you. I'm going to read 2 of the songs. The first one is when she's on the pole.
The telephone pole.
Telephone pole.
Not Bear Cop's pole.
Yeah.
Or the stripper pole.
You make your decision after I read the lyrics to the song. I assume the title is called Love Bites. I try to Shazam these songs. Apparently, they're nowhere in the ether of music. There's a fever running through my heart and soul. So hungry for someone to take me home. Love bites. I can taste it in the night. I need a lover. Love bites. I got to feed my appetite. Find me a lover. I've been waiting for a striking of the match of love that burns. Someone who will take me off my feet into the heat of desire. How much longer can I keep on holding on? Someone come and rescue me. That's the first.
This might be our best, like our most downloaded episode ever, Jason. If I put like some sexy music behind that, a little AMSR.
I mean, I can read it a little bit sexier if I need to.
This one might, like this one, we might not even get flagged for it if we find it and play it.
That's right. It doesn't Shazam, so no one knows what it is.
Okay, this one's even better. This is the song that is playing in the aerobics class. This is hilarious. The title, I assume, of this song is called Body Shop. Take a look at your body. What's your favorite hobby? Is it jumping all through the night? When you look in the mirror, do you wish it was broken because you can't stand to look at the sight? What's your body saying to you? It's time you went to the body shop. Tune up that engine, body shop. Tighten those valves, body shop. Set the timing and the rhythm. Make that body purr loud. Are you feeling older because you can't bend over?
Yes, I am. I need to get to the body.
I think she's still doing lyrics. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I thought she was asking me.
Okay, I got to read that one again. I couldn't stop laughing. Are you feeling older because you can't bend over and your hair's falling out left and right? Is your sex life fiction because you live in the kitchen and your clothes seem to shrink every night? I am not lying. Those are the words to the song that's playing in her aerobics class and sing.
Wow. We should probably cut that out just for the Patreon.
Yeah, like Patreon only. Put behind the paywall. Yeah, good idea. I don't even know where the hell we are in this show.
I don't either. Am I hosting this thing? I think I'm hosting this thing.
Yeah, I think
that is your spectacle right there.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I know where this sniper bullet might be going. All right, Jared, but we need to talk about the spectacle of In Hell. Kind of different spectacle, but what do you think?
Whole other brand of spectacle. What it does well. You know, if you want that Eastern Bloc, Russian prison thing, yeah, it's there. My favorite part of the spectacle, and Kathy touched on this earlier, she said she didn't like his shaggy hair. I liked the show don't tell storytelling involved with Van Damme's hair. If you notice at the beginning, when his life is kind of together, his hair is kind of together. And when it's falling apart, his hair is like all over the place. And then it gets like real sharp again. But when he's real focused, but he's focused on the wrong thing, he's got that bad boy haircut. And then it goes back to kind of the way it was at the beginning when he finds himself again. And I thought that's kind of neat visual storytelling as they take us through the whole thing. Like to me, it's very comic book. Like that's how you would convey that information in a comic book. And I thought that was neat. Otherwise, no super memorable music tracks for me, so it must have been serviceable. There's nothing distracting. I thought the sets and the camera angles that were chosen were all fine. I mean, it's one of those. It's a prison movie, so it's all pretty confined. He's confined in the. Anyways, you know what I mean. So what it does well. It's no Ninja 3 to be bonkers, but what it does have in common with Ninja 3 is once again didn't check my phone, stayed locked in, good storytelling. So, yeah, it's not great, but I like it. It held me.
Yeah, no, I largely agree. I like that observation you made about the hair. I didn't pick up on that, but now that I think about it, absolutely right. Kathy, what do you got to add?
I think y'all pretty much covered it. I think it was done very well cinematically. I think the acting was on point for what it was. Was it like most other prison movies? Maybe. But I still think it looked cool. We wanted these bad guys to get,
dead.
Well,
Yeah.
we wanted them to have the day they deserve, as everybody says these days. So
My favorite was when what's his name got the car dropped on him. I thought that that was my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I have to add was they kept having scenes of those Russian jets flying overhead.
They never did explain that, did they?
And they would stop and they'd all stare at the jets. And I was like, wonder what part these jets are going to play in the movie. Because they keep showing us these jets. Not a thing. Just there be jets here, I guess. Thought that was weird. But anyway, let's go back and score the spectacle and start with Ninja 3, Jared.
I'm giving it an 8. It is its strongest category. It's got interesting music, as Kathy said. It's got a lot to look at. It doesn't get bored. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. But 8 from me, man.
I didn't go quite that high. I wanted to, but I gave it a 7. The spectacle was either great or bad. And there were some scenes in there, and I'm thinking about that scene where she faces off those thugs that apparently they just wait to rape ladies as they leave her studio.
Yeah, and there's large groups of people around.
Yeah.
They're not good at this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're... But there was a scene there where she kicks somebody, and he just obviously control spinning his way across the street into a wall. And there were a couple scenes like that where it was just so badly executed that it kind of took me out of the film. Now, none of that happened when Show was on the set, that's for sure. And what was good was really good, that golf scene at the beginning. So, I'm definitely going to be bumping up a little bit for best action scene, but there was enough that was that kind of brought me out of it. But at any rate, let's move over to In Hell and see what you gave the spectacle for In Hell.
I'm okay at a 7. Once again, just really solid 7.
Okay. Couldn't go quite as high as a 7 for spectacle. I went down to 6. Looks like 4 is going to be it. But I think we covered it. I thought that it's a fine film. I think I gave it more for story than I do for spectacle in this one, but still decent. And that just leaves the decision to Kathy as to who's getting this bullet. I think I already know, but let's let her regale herself.
I will say, when you were talking about Ninja 3, some scenes taking you out, the only one that took me out was in the cemetery scene. One of the cops that she had fought, as he's laying on the ground, he apparently split his pants open during the fight scene. I'm assuming nobody just caught this in post-production. He has on some kind of red boxers or whatever, because he's literally, you can see his crotch, you can see his dark black pants split open. It just made me laugh. But there is no question that I will be giving my sniper bullet to the wonderful, wonderful world of the 80s. There's no way that this doesn't win for spectacle. So,
all right, all in for Ninja 3, it sounds like.
We appreciate you being on Crotch Watch on this episode.
Yeah, I didn't notice. So.
I didn't either. All right, that's the end of round 4. Let's go into round 5.
1 shot, 1 kill.
Round 5 is best action scene. Jason getting his papers ready.
My favorite part.
Everyone's favorite part. Jason, what do you got for breaking down the action scenes of Ninja 3, The Domination, 1984?
Okay, I'm going to caveat this by saying I know there are some more action scenes in there where she does her first cop assassination is one, where she fights those thugs in the street, or she kind of first discovers her ninja-like powers. Didn't count those because really there's 3 big ones that I think we need to focus on. We've touched on this one a lot, one that I think is going to get some love, the golf course assassination, or I call it, this guy has a wicked slice.
It's a golf joke. Excellent job.
There we go.
Bravo.
And then the second one, the funeral scene fight. That one was pretty stellar. I called that one 2 burials for the price of 1 because she killed the guy in the thing. Anyway, the third one is the final battle, or I called that one, and this is because the 2 of them just stood there watching the whole time while Show's going toe to toe with this dude. It's why don't you 2 just take a picture? It'll last longer. So those are the 3 that I had.
That's what you called it? Take a picture.
Take a picture. It'll last longer.
To me, watching that scene, it really cracked me up to think that just like in the production of making it, there was a point where the cameraman was just like pointing the camera at Bear Cop and Special K and like, give us a surprise reaction. Okay, now look concerned. Okay, now look like they just watch the fight. They cut to him every once in a while of them watching the fight.
I just was waiting for him to have like popcorn. Like,
but hey, it's we show Kazugi's fighting a ninja demon. You watch that. Listen, is anybody here not taking the golf course fight?
I'm taking the final battle.
You're over the golf course fight.
I'm taking the final battle, and I'll tell you why, man. Because it just had like so many cool elements to it. Because you had both Show and this dude squaring off.
That's true.
That was the best fight choreography in the film. And then you also had them when he mentally possesses all those little monks, and then he has to take on all those monks, but he can't kill them because they're really good guys, just mentally possessed. And that was interesting. I don't know. I just really like that final battle.
You make a good case because Sho Kazugi is in the fight. So yeah. All right. So cool. All right, I got you down. Kathy and I are golf course people, and Jason's final battle.
I'm going to go with the fight with the V8 versus Bear Cop.
That's all the struggle. All right, going to In Hell, Jason. There's a few fights to pick from. What'd you boil that down to?
I really caught 4 on this one. The first one was the intruder fight, or as I called it, get on the bus, Gus. I stabbed your wife with my knife, guy.
That dude did try to escape via public transportation.
I know, man. But, apparently public transportation
it worked.
Good there. Yeah, it's on time. It's free. It's efficient. Second one was Kyle versus Andre. Or I called that one. It really just turned into a game of Rochambeau. Like, I'm going to crush your nuts. You're going to pick my nuts, and we'll see who's left standing. The third one was the kind of the Kyle fight montage after that, as he's fighting all these other ones. I called that one Fear the Beard.
Yes.
And then the fourth one is the prison riot, where I called this one. It turns out this prison isn't really as secure as we thought after all, because they were just like ripping out the barred windows and taking out.
This whole thing's made of paper mache.
Yeah. Turns out we've been in here all this time. We could have just broke this thing down. So those were the 4 that I had there.
All right, what'd you pick?
I thought the Kyle versus Andre fight was probably the highlight for me. I mean, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah,
he like bit that guy's neck.
Yeah. They gave me the most shades of Unleashed, which I absolutely adore. So I agree with you. Kathy, any dissent or other choice? Nope. We all liked watching that dude get his comeuppance. All right, let's score these. Let's go back to Ninja 3. I like golf course. You like the end fight. I have a funny feeling my number is higher than your number. What do you got?
No, I'm giving that one an 8. I thought that was we're going into elite category with all 3 of those scenes.
Dude, I will put on the golf course just to watch it for fun. It gets a 9 for me. So Kathy's 4 is 1 score box away from being correct on this for her match game. Speaking of which, we both liked to watch Andre, the terrible dude, get his comeuppance. 1 to 10, Jason.
Again, I thought what was unique about this was really my expectations of the Van Damme fight scenes based off of the Van Damme fight scenes of before and what I got out of this. So I'm going to give this one a 7. It was just a unique flavor. Brutal fight scene, well choreographed, well done. 7.
Match game number 5. Sorry, Kathleen. Yeah. Oh,
dang it!
I also scored
close.
7.
Just close.
So, Kathy, which movie had the better action scenes for you? Did you like the fantastical ninja action from '84? Did you like the gritty 03?
This is my toughest call.
It is tough because they're very different.
Yeah,
based on mood, really.
I feel like my initial reaction when I was going over them, I'm just going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say for me, the action scenes in Hell.
All right, that's it. That's the end of round 5.
All right, it's time to go negative. Deduction round time.
I'm nobody's bitch.
Jared, I'm just going to lay it out to you. I'm not taking anything off of either of these movies. Do you have anything?
Nah, I mean, there's plenty from our jaded military combat vet views, but no, I mean, they are what they are, and we've talked them out. So
Yeah. What about you, Kathy? Anything you want to air on the side of grievance?
No, just like I said, so many plot holes in Ninja 3, but that could be on is that Posicast at some point?
And Jared answered at the beginning. The answer still stands. It's canon.
Exactly.
Well, then, I guess that's the end of our official rounds. Now, don't worry if you haven't been keeping up with the math at home, folks. We do that for you here at Action Film Face Off. And let's take a look at match game real quick. Kathy guessed 4. We ended up with 5. So close. So very close. And sniper bullets. Kathy gave 4 of her 5 bullets to In Hell. And looking at the judges' scorecards, the winner of this episode of Action Film Face Off with a score of 73 to 72. Ninja 3, The Domination.
Well, congratulations to Ninja 3 Domination. Now, let's head over to the randomizer and find out what the next years are going to be for our upcoming episode. My brother Jared will be pulling a film from...
Choose your destiny.
1971. And I will be pulling a film from...
Choose your destiny.
1987. What will those films be? Well, we'll tease them on social media for those of you who want to watch before listening. We're thinking of you, Dave. We know you like to do your homework before you come in. But if you just want to come in cold, you can just do that and tune in next episode and find out. Until then, I'm Jason Weasel Skull Albrecht, and you can find me on social media at Jason Albrecht on Instagram, looking at all those dad jokes and cat videos.
And you can find me, Jared Albrecht, the Yard Sale Artist, a.k.a. Death Bro, at Yard Sale Artist on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Kathleen.
I can be found on all social media, sending reels to Jared and Jason at AUKathy2418, and that's Kathy with a K.
You can also find her right here on the Longbox Crusade Network, where she hosts LBC Irregulars, looking at the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes series, which we're kind of coming to a close on. Be interested to see what you do with that next. Be sure to check out all the shows under the Longbox Crusade umbrella by subscribing to Longbox Crusade on the finer podcatchers. You can catch us on YouTube. You can go directly to the website, www.longboxcrusade.com. If you'd like to send us a question or a comment, you can do that by hitting us up on social media. We are Longbox Crusade on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky. Pretty much go search Longbox Crusade. You'll find us. On X, we have at AFFO Podcast as a solo feed. So if you want to go very direct, you can do that. The most direct way to get to us is to leave a voicemail at 707-532-5269. That is 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
There you go. Before we wrap this up, we got a somewhat lengthy but full of good information comment over on YouTube from 2 episodes ago where we covered Cotton Comes to Harlem, took on Remo Williams. We got a comment from Harvey Dent, 322, and one of his personalities said, enjoyable intro to your podcast, gentlemen, because I'm a fan of both movies that stepped into the ring for this one. I have to agree with your scoring, even though both flicks are radically different from each other. A jingoistic 80s actioner squaring off against one of the earliest blaxploitation movies from the dawn of the cynical 70s. You guys made it work, though, and for that, I tip my hat to you. The other reason I'm commenting is to let you know that Coffin Ed and Gravedigger Jones are from a series of books by an author named Chester Himes. Off the top of my head, he wrote a total of 9 books, of which Cotton is the 6th, about Harlem's finest, called his Harlem Detective Cycle. And unlike Cotton Comes to Harlem and the sequels, yes, there are sequels, the stories have a humor that borders on a triple stage of darkness. I highly recommend The Harlem Cycle if any of you three are fans of hard-boiled crime novels, but don't look for any Red Fox cameos to lighten the mood. The other films are Come Back Charleston Blue, with Cambridge and St. Jacques returning in their roles, A Rage in Harlem from 20 years later, but be warned, Coffin Ed and Gravedigger are far from the main characters in that one. So forewarned is forearmed, and happy viewing, while I'll give you guys further listens if the matchups are as eclectic as this one. Well, thank you so much, Harvey, for those comments. Thank you for giving us some backstory on the history of Coffin Ed and Gravedigger. That was really cool, and we're happy that you've joined us, and we hope you continue to join us.
Well, I think that I can promise him that this next one's going to be pretty eclectic, too. So.
Yeah. Eclectic happens on this show from time to time. Sometimes we try to do themes, and sometimes we just go, whatever these two movies end up being. So, really appreciate that, Harvey. And we appreciate all the listeners who tune in. We appreciate you listening. And until next episode, keep your head down.
And your knuckles up.
The intro and outro theme to this show and all of our Action Film Face-Off shows are done by musical genius Joe November. Check out his SoundCloud at JOSEFLIN99. You will not regret it.
And then I have to have an odd honorable mention. The first movie that honestly came to my mind when I thought about ninjas, The Golden Child. The ninjas that attack the house when they're...
Yeah, I know the part. Sure.
Streaming on Netflix right now.
Jason's watching it during the show. Eddie Murphy, you're so clever.
Hold on.
It's like, what happened?
I got one on the mic, man. Whiskers.
What you doing on the mic? Of course, he didn't have to train. His butt always looks like that. He's going to
got
80
Van
years
Damme.
old. He's going to have that Van Damme butt going, man.
Crack a walnut.
Crack a walnut with those butt cheeks.
100%. I've got to stop saying that. Edit that part out. I say
I'm editing out a lot of this, so don't you worry.
I say 100% too much.
So,
oddly enough, that's how Edward killed a vampire in first Twilight movie.
Wait, wasn't Edward a vampire?
He was. He killed another vampire by biting his neck and.
Well, I mean, that's kind of his thing, right? Like,
I'm just watching.
See, this really pisses me off to no end. Twilight talk on Action Film Face. What the hell is going on here?
There was action scenes.
I'll boot you from the stream.
Come on, try it.
All right.
She's gonna blow him away.
You're supposed to let me finish it off.
And Jared, I want you to know that you are not a weirdo.
Jared, you are a weirdo.